All I can do is stand and wait, doing my best not to feel anxious. As the seconds wear on, I begin to think she might be asleep and didn't hear me knocking. The door handle rattles a little before I can raise my hand to knock again, though. The door opens, a silver, an eye appearing in a gap only just large enough for it to peer through. I'm sure this girl would install a peephole in her dormitory door, if only such a thing were allowed. I just stand and smile at her. I don't think words would really help here, after all. The act is returned in kind, with Hanako wordlessly looking at me. The gap's not wide enough to see her expression, but I can only guess what she's thinking. Time passes as we look at each other, the only sound being a disembodied gaiety from the ground floor. I'm not sure how long it takes, but eventually the eye moves away. I keep wondering whether she'll let me in or shut me out until the door slowly begins to creak open. Now that I have a full view of her in her bedroom behind, the first thing I notice is that Hanako's hair is quite damp. She's recently showered, which is made even more obvious by the scent of shampoo wafting towards me. The look on her face seems one of curiosity, as if she's not really sure what to make of me. Even so, I'm not really all that sure of what she's thinking. It feels as if she's gone away for a long time, and having now returned, neither of us knows what to say to the other. Hanako realises she's staring, looking away awkwardly before turning to the side and gazing at her feet. I decide to take it as an invitation to step past her into the room, closing the door behind me as I do so. I can see her hands fiddling in the folds of the oversized gown that hangs from her shoulders. I try to concentrate on what I want to say, but the scent from her aidles my senses. To my surprise, it's not me, but Hanako that breaks the silence. Why? Because, why did I come here? I was worried about Hanako, so I came to her room. She let me in, as I had hoped, but then, what? What did I mean to do? What did I mean to say? Why didn't I think this through before coming here? I wanted to make up for what I feel I caused, at least partly. I want to try and remove the distance I feel between us since then, and to see her happy. How can I do that when I don't know the first thing about her? I wonder if this is how Iwanako felt when she saw me lying at that sterile, pastel blue hospital bed. A deep sigh steadies my nerves a little and ends my stammering. I don't think I've ever felt this nervous around someone before. When I'm like this, I don't think I can lie. Even if I could bring myself to, Hanako would see through it right away. I don't know, I just wanted to see you, I guess. Her fingers stop moving, giving me a little surprise. Looking up to her face, she gives a sweet smile and a nod. That was satisfactory an answer for her? Since you're here, I'd like to play a game of chess with you. I almost hang my head in disbelief that all she wants to do, after I've been winding myself up so much, is play a game. Looking at her face though, a tentative smile perched upon it, I realise that this is more than that. She could have not bothered answering the door. She could have shut it as soon as she saw my face. She could have asked me to leave. She could have rejected me at many points, but she didn't. Now, with this calm face, she wants me to play the same game that we played when we first really spent time alone together. A feeling of relief washes over me. Everything will be alright. Hanako has let me into her world. As long as we can be together like this, I think everything will be alright. It would be my pleasure. Much time after, without explaining how the chess went, the day of Hanako's birthday party is finally here. To be honest, I'm looking forward to seeing Hanako and Lily in their pyjamas again. Wow. Hanako's gown has grown on me as looking rather cute, though a bit conservative, and Lily's shorts and thin silken top are a lovely combination. But the event is stained a little with the memory of Hanako's reaction to it. I still don't really understand what happened, only being able to vaguely guess at the possible reasons for it, but I don't think finding the answer will be as straightforward as asking her. With that in mind, I knock on the door next to Hanako's. Is that you, Hisao? Yeah, it's me. I can hear the pitter-patter of footsteps coming to the door, followed by the sound of the lock snapping open. I don't think I've ever seen Lily's door locked before. and it makes me a little suspicious. Once the door opens, the sight is a little underwhelming for a birthday party. Hanako returns to her seat at the table with a quick smile and a nod, leaving me to close and, assuming they wanted it to be kept that way, lock the door. As I do so, I realise that the scene before me is that of an evening tea party, just like any other between the two. Somehow, I don't think I should be surprised. To my relief, Hanako looks relatively calm. The break from class has probably done her good, and given her time to wind down a bit. I take a seat between the two, at the low table in the centre of Lily's room, the brightly coloured teapot steaming away between us. A tall brown bag close by Lily's side catches my attention. I covertly try to glance inside it a couple of times, but can't get a good look from here. Looking at Hanako, it seems like she's as curious about it as I am. Hey Lily. Lily finishes off the teacup raised to her lips before setting it down and giving me her attention. Yes? I was just wondering about that brown bag. She pauses for a moment, then gives a slightly cheeky smile. That would be Akira's present. Unfortunately, she said she was working and can't join us. Lily leans over and feels out the item inside before raising her arm. I raise an eyebrow as two items, not one, rise from the bag. The glass necks are grasped by Lily on either side of her middle finger, so this is why she had her door locked. Wine. Fair play. Fair play, Lily. There are two small thuds as the bottles are brought to rest on the table, one red, one white. I want to believe that it's fake non-alcoholic wine, but if it was, there wouldn't be any need to be this circumspect. Alcohol? Seriously? Are you sure this is a good idea? Lily smiles politely and giggles. I'm not really convinced that she is. These would be the present from my sister. I know it's a bit questionable, but a little shouldn't hurt. If Lily took serious issue with it, I don't think she'd agreed quite so easily. That aside, I had Akira squared as the serious responsible type. Maybe like an older Lily, but it looks like I was wrong. We aren't even legally able to drink yet. Well, in that case, I won't complain. They don't look bad either. I'm no connoisseur, but at least the bottles look nice. Apart from a surreptitious glass of wine or two given from my father at family dinners, I haven't really had enough to know what's what. That, and I can't really say that I'm a total straight edge. Going by Hanako's expression, she's thinking the same, and it's her birthday anyway. Shall I open one? Sure, I'll get some. My heart skips as I hear three sharp bangs coming from Lily's door. Hanako's head flicks around, but Lily's eyes close as she listens intently. None of us want to be busted for this. Who is it? Let me in, I'm cold. Lily lets out a resigned sigh before motioning for Hanako to open the door. She obediently gets up and fusses with her gown before moving, apparently still not quite sure of who it is, but trusting enough in Lily to do so as she requests. I can see a blonde, dark-suited figure become visible over Hanako's shoulder as she opens the door. Happy birthday, Hanako. Thank you, Akira. Hanako gives a small bow while twiddling her fingers in front of her. So, this is Lily's elusive sister. Akira follows Hanako to the table after shutting the door behind her, giving me plenty of time to have a good look at her. She looks about the same height as Hanako, and has short blonde hair that's quite roughly cut. That, in addition to her rather modest breasts, masculine suit and deep voice, gives her quite an androgynous effect. Without further ado, she plops herself down on the side of the table across from me. It's nice to have your company after all, Akira. Did work let you off? Yep, I have to go back there in a bit, but I managed to get enough of a break to drive down. So, this would be Hisao then. A confident smile gets thrown in my direction, so I nod politely in return. Considering she's just jumped straight to using my first name, she's much more informal than her appearance would suggest. Wait, if she already knows who I am, that must mean Lily's talked about me with her. I wonder what she said. Sorry for not introducing to you, Hisao. This is Akira Sato, my elder sister. I see, nice to meet you. The person in question loudly claps their hands together, making Hanako jump a little bit. Akira notices this and looks uneasy for a fraction of a second before getting back into her stride. Only now do I realise that Akira hasn't paid Hanako's scars any undue attention. Hanako also seems to be comfortable, if not exactly relaxed, around Akira. Well then, I assume the presents got through? No point in waiting, considering Hisao and the birthday girl look like they're pretty eager. Lily giggles as I awkwardly turn away, a little embarrassed by the fact that I couldn't hide my interest. Hanako's eyes are telling me that she wants to try the wine together with me, so I settle for a look of badly feigned indifference. Akira manages to uncork the first bottle with small effort, and Hanako goes to get some glasses before I get to pour the four of them full of white wine. I heard somewhere that white wine has less alcohol than red wine, so I think it would be best to start with. Here's to Hanako and to Lily's trip. Cheers. Cheers. After the traditional raising of the glasses, we all take sips from the pale yellow liquid. It's nothing like the stuff I've had with my parents, with the fruitiness of the flavour almost entirely hiding the taste of the alcohol, flavours missing a U. Maybe this is what proper wine is supposed to taste like. Then again, it's possible that Akira just chose a wine which would be suited to all of our tastes, since none of us are used to alcohol yet. Or at least, I hope none of us are. This isn't too bad. I was expecting something harsher. If you hadn't liked it, I have a few other varieties you could have chosen from. You sound like you know your stuff when it comes to wines. Only a bit. I'm more of a beer kind of person. I have the drinking side down pat though. As if to prove her point, she refills her glass before bringing it to her lips and flicking her head back. Hanako and I silently watch as the whole glassful disappears down Akira's throat. I can't decide whether to be impressed or put off, but I certainly don't give any urge to imitate the act. Lily grimaces slightly at her sister's boast. I know that she is sipping from her glass as she does though. Anyway, now that Akira's gift has been opened and sampled, shall we move on to ours? Gifts? That's right, we got you presents. It's your birthday after all. This is from me. Lily pulls out the carefully wrapped doll from under the table and passes it to Hanako. Hanako handles the present as if it was glassware, carefully turning it over to remove the tape that binds the wrapping. Eventually, the paper falls from the doll, revealing the emerald green of the doll's dress. It's beautiful. I'm not sure what reaction I was expecting from Hanako. The near total lack of dolls in her room made me think she didn't actually care about them, but the look in her eyes now is something different. She turns her doll around the same delicacy she afforded the wrapping, as if she was expecting it to fall apart in her hands. I'm glad that you like it. Hisao picked it out, to be honest. Hanako suddenly remembers that she is not alone in her room and shifts her focus from the doll. Yes, I like it. Thank you, Lillian. Hisao. Actually, I got you something else. I reach into my bag and remove the wrapped chess set. Here, happy birthday. Hanako carefully sits Lily's doll next to her and opens my present with the same care that she showed Lily's. Before long, the checkered square of the chessboard are visible, and Hanako gently runs her fingers across the carved squares. Oh! Almost by accident, she triggers the catch of the lid, startling herself in the process. She opens it and retrieves one of the grey pieces. She seems as absorbed in the chess pieces as she was in the doll before. They're coral, natural coral, undyed, or so I'm told. Thank you, Hisao. No problem, it's your birthday after all. That's right, my birthday. Once again, Hanako's reaction seems a little off, but she carefully closes the board lid. I notice Akira's smile beginning to look very strained. I wonder if she knows anything about what happened in class, given that she seems to be treading on eggshells around Hanako. Was the fire on Hanako's birthday? That could probably be it. I'll have to play you again sometime. I'll make sure I play you first. She takes the doll she received from Lily and holds it to her chest together with the small chessboard, putting a piece on top. The act seems to settle her down somewhat, and we just sit in silence for a while. I think it's one of the few times I've seen her genuinely happy, cradling the friendship of two people to her chest as tightly as she can. Thank you, Lily. Thank you, Hisao. In the process of thanking us, Hanako drops the chess piece and fumbles it a bit in a rush to retrieve it. Once she finds it, Hanako puts the chess set down and nervously gulps at her wine. It's as if the real world suddenly rushed back into her consciousness, and her fastest escape from it was in a glass. Hey, easy there, you shouldn't drink that so fast. It is a party, Hisao. Despite saying this, there is a slightly concerned edge to her voice. Eventually, wow, come on, really? Acquiescing? Lily proceeds to follow Haneko's leads, though not as eagerly. She looks to be taking small sips from her glass and letting the wine settle on her tongue before swallowing. I decide that this is probably the best approach and do the same myself. Since this is kind of a going away party for you as well, I hope you enjoy your trip at least a little, Lily. Hopefully your aunt will be okay. I hope your aunt is okay too, Lily. Lily and I are slightly taken aback by Haneko's fervour to wish Lily well, despite her own familial situation. I'm a little impressed. My, thank you both. I'll be sure to convey your thoughts to my family when I meet them. It'll be all fine in the end, Lily, don't you worry about it. Since the room's mood has become noticeably more sullen, I decide to try and move things along. Well then, shall we start on the cake? My tentative suggestion has the intended effect, everyone lightening up considerably. Yes, please. Cake? I didn't know there was any cake. I picked one up before I came, along with the snacks. Well done, Hisao. At least one of us remembered to bring one. Everyone seems welcome to the distraction, so I retrieve the cake from my bag and start cutting it up. Mixing wine and chocolate cake isn't something that I thought would work well, but none of us seem to mind. Conversation is temporarily suspended as we start to eat. I was initially wary of this idea after Haneko's panic attacks. I expected the worst from tonight, but I think Lily's idea of giving her good memories of her birthday is working. That, and also having it shared with her going away party. From Haneko's reactions to her gifts, I can tell she was really appreciative. Haneko tries to pour herself another glass of wine, but ends up spilling some on the table. She's had a couple by now, so considering she's never had alcohol before, it's no wondering if she's feeling a little bit lightheaded. Sorry, Lily, I didn't mean to make a mess. Don't worry, I've got it. Lily reaches sideways and gently takes the fussing Haneko in her arms, giving me pause. It's okay, Haneko. I'm just happy you're here. Haneko gives only faint nod in response. It's fitting, I suppose, that Lily would be the one to support her like this. I have no idea what Haneko would be like if she hadn't. Seeing the two like this makes me appreciate the fact that I'm privy to such an intimate moment. Even Akira can't help but smile at the sight. I never would have thought I'd manage to find new friends so quickly, and I'm all the more thankful that, of all people, these two are the two that I've befriended. They slowly break off from one another, Haneko regaining herself somewhat while I quickly get myself back on task. I find a towel among Lily's tea set and start mopping up the spillage. By the time I finish, however, Haneko and Lily have managed to uncork the other bottle and have topped off their glasses. Looks like you're enjoying the wine then. Just don't go too crazy with it after this, mind. We all dutifully nod and agree, but her reminder feels a bit silly given that she's the one supplying the underage people with alcohol.